Life never goes according to plan. We struggle, fail, and lose sight of ourselves. Why is it that when we are struggling with life, that an Uncle Iroh quote, Zuko's arc, or seeing Team Avatar overcome each and every struggle hits different? When we are suffering in life, the timeless wisdom of Avatar, yes, even Korra, can help show us the path forward. And in this video, we are breaking down 6 lessons that we need to learn from when we are going through hard times in life. Life happens wherever you are, whether you make it or not. When Zuko and Uncle Iroh arrive at Ba Sing Se as refugees, Zuko can't accept this life, calling Ba Sing Se a prison, which it is. But this refusal makes Zuko unable to feel truly alive and accept life for what it is. Zuko's rejection of his life circumstances plagues him for his entire journey. When he is first banished, all he is focused on is capturing the Avatar so he can go back to his old life. He goes through almost the entire show dreaming of this, dreaming of a life that he doesn't have, instead of living the one that he has. When life isn't going according to what we want, we have this idea that this is just a prologue, something that is meant to fill in time until we get to the real thing. That we will finally feel happy and fulfilled when life finally starts. Uncle Iroh, on the other hand, accepts everything about his life and finds joy and purpose no matter where he is. Whether he's chasing the Avatar with Zuko or living in Ba Sing Se, Uncle Iroh makes the time to be present in the moment, grateful for what he has and accepting life for what it is. In our lives, we are obsessed with always chasing a goal or a different life than the one we are living right now. We get frustrated like Zuko when life doesn't play out the way we want it to. We try to rush past the seasons of our lives we don't like. For Zuko, that was his time in Ba Sing Se and all of his years spent being banished. But after struggling, rushing, and betraying Uncle Iroh so that he could finally get the life he wanted, what did Zuko get? He was welcomed home as a hero and had the whole Fire Nation finally admire him. He had everything he dreamed of, but he felt entirely empty inside. There's something to be said about chasing the wrong things in life, but what's even more important is the life that we waste just to get to a place that doesn't even end up fulfilling us the way that we think it would. Zuko spent years chasing his father's validation, when really all he ever needed was Uncle Iroh's love. He wasted all of those years side by side with Uncle Iroh, someone who truly loved him and treasured him, and wasted that life. Wasted all of the small moments he could have connected with his crew. Wasted all of that time that he could have spent enjoying the journey that he was on. Even though it wasn't what he wanted, and even though he was suffering in those moments, that was his life. There were moments of joy that he could have found if he just accepted life for what it was, rather than what he wished it was.
Conflict avoidance must have limits. Aang is an airbender. He doesn't get up every day hoping to get into a fight or assert himself. Airbenders move with all things. They're ever present and they go with the flow, but they are somewhat detached. While firebending might scare Aang the most, it's earthbending that he struggles with more than anything. They're just too different. Where Aang would prefer to dodge, an earthbender would absorb a blow. Where Aang might redirect energy, an earthbender would meet force with greater force. This all comes to a head when Aang is training under Toph and she insists on rolling a boulder at him down a hill. And he can't face it, just like he can't face the Fire Lord, Zuko, Katara, sometimes himself. Aang's culture is beautiful. There is a virtue to be found in their love of freedom and cooperation, but like any virtue, there is a toxic version of it. Aang would sooner run away and dodge conflict than ever face it head on, and you just can't live like this. But what's the solution? How do you develop rootedness of the kind that Aang will need in order to be the Avatar? People to defend, friends, family, children, loved ones, animals, anything that needs you more than you might need it. Aang couldn't stand still for a boulder, but when Sokka is stuck in a hole and in danger from an angry animal, Aang tries to reason with the beast, but then that doesn't work, so he digs in, because he has to. Someone is counting on him who can't fight for themselves. And that's the key. People worth fighting for.
Humbleness leads to greatness. When we first meet Sokka, he is prideful and cocky. He wants to prove himself worthy as a warrior, and thinks to be someone great, he has to act like he is better than everyone, especially women. But when he is ambushed on Kyoshi Island by Suki and the other female warriors, Sokka feels ashamed, refusing to acknowledge that he lost to a bunch of girls and stands firm in his belief that he is the best warrior in his village. This pride leads to him embarrassing himself again in front of Suki. It's only after he finally admits that they are strong warriors and he apologizes that he grows as a person. We cover up our insecurities with boasting about our strengths, ashamed to admit we might be lacking in certain areas. Being vulnerable and humble doesn't come naturally to most of us, but when done in the right moments, to the right people, it can lead to us growing more than we can ever imagine. In Book 3, Sokka comes across another similar experience. He is looking to grow and become a stronger warrior. That's when he meets Master Piandao, who assumes that Sokka believes himself to already be worthy of a master. That Sokka came to him thinking he is already the best warrior. But after all of Sokka's traveling through the world, Sokka realizes one thing. He has so much room to improve. He admits his self-doubt, fear, and insecurity of not being worthy. It's after this moment of Sokka admitting his vulnerability and humbly asking Master Piandao to train him that Sokka has become the great warrior he always thought he was. It's normal to take pride in our strengths, in what we're good at, but if we truly want to grow, we need to look at what it is that we are lacking. The more that we learn, the more we realize how little we know. And the more that we grow, the more that we realize how much it is that we lack. It's in these moments when we accept ourselves, how small we are, that we can finally become someone capable of becoming great. Someone who can become worthy.
Garbage in, garbage out. In the Legend of Korra, while wandering in the spirit realm, Korra finds the spirit of Uncle Iroh, who has long been dead. In this place, you reflect your emotional state, and Korra is both scared, petulant, temperamental, so she presents as a child, and Korra joins Iroh for tea, only to throw a fit which quickly blackens the skies and turns nearby spirits into darker, more frightening versions of themselves. In the spirit world, your emotions become your reality, says Iroh. He's encouraging her to actively choose positivity. So Korra takes a deep breath, and the clouds clear. The spirits return to a more peaceful state as the sun comes back into full view, and she says, "I can make the sun shine?" Uncle Iroh smiles and responds, "You will find that if you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the dark, that is all you will ever see." What makes this so hard is when we can't admit that our viewpoints, the things that we focus on, have only served to make life miserable. Learn to surrender. Ask yourself, is the way that I talk about life making anything better for me? If it's not, you should change your perspective. Read a book. Learn something new. Hang out with different people who fill your tank with energy, ambition, and hope. Your mom probably told you this growing up, and it's true. You are what you eat. Garbage in, garbage out. And you do take on the nature of the company that you keep. The philosopher Seneca once wrote in his letters, "So long as you associate with a person who's mean and grasping, you will remain a money-minded individual yourself. So long as you keep arrogant company, just so long will conceit stick to you."
When we hit our lowest point, that is when we are open to the greatest change. Zuko believes that when he is burned by his father and banished from the Fire Nation, that is when he has lost everything. But throughout the series, up until he joins Team Avatar, he continues to lose more and sink further into despair. He loses his ship and the only crew he had in Book 1. In Book 2, he is forced to live as a refugee until he betrays Uncle Iroh to gain back his old life. This drives him deeper into despair as he continues to spiral, questioning who he is, what his honor truly means, and how he wants to live. All of this culminates in the beach episode, when he realizes all the anger he has been projecting onto everyone around him is actually something that has been pointing inward the whole time. His anger, his low points, and every failure have been pointing him in the direction of who he truly needs to be. Someone who breaks the pattern of hatred and evil in his family to restore balance through love and kindness. It's only when we fail that we can learn to pick ourselves back up. When life is good, we don't have to question who we are and what we are doing. But when we lose a job, a relationship, an idea of how our life is supposed to go, we begin to despair. We question the path we've walked so far, and we become afraid of an uncertain future. It's in these quiet moments alone when we sit with ourselves and ask the deeper questions that we are able to finally understand who we truly are, what we need to do, and how we want to live. These moments of despair are not easy, but if we can see this as an opportunity to have hope that things can get better, to look forward at who we truly want to be and take action, that is when we finally are able to grow. And that is when we have the power to change our lives.
There is always a third way. Like we already established, Aang did not want to kill the Fire Lord, but he couldn't allow him to live either. Both choices are a betrayal, either to the world or to himself. Maybe you have a decision to make that feels binary. I'm certain that you have stood at a fork in the road and felt, these are my choices. I've been there, but it's almost always wrong. It's an illusion. Third ways exist that break the boundaries of dualistic thinking, and it takes imagination and a little bit of grace to get there. Aang goes on a spiritual journey, and he acquires a new power to take Ozai's bending away from him, to neutralize the threat to the world without taking a life. Everyone told Aang that the choice was black and white. I probably would have told him that too, but it wasn't true. Talk to friends, seek out mentors and advice from fellow travelers. They'll give you feedback, and a third way might reveal itself. I'm Stephen Kent of Geeky Stoics. Thanks for watching.
Thank you to Steven and the guys at Geeky Stoics for making this video with me. If you're interested in masculinity, philosophy, or religion at all, I highly suggest you check out their channel. They're doing great work over there to help you find lessons in your favorite fictional stories so that you can live a better life. We made this video together because no matter how old we get, we constantly find ourselves driven back to Avatar, its characters, and their timeless wisdom that hits no matter what we are going through in life. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you took one thing that you're going to apply to yourself. And I hope that you're living a good life.